Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Mr. Buss, and I'm going to walk you through how to do Lab 16, wind power. In this lab, you're going to use a wind turbine, which is really just a 1.5 volt DC motor. If you hook this motor up to a battery, it would turn the prop, but we're going to do something different. We're actually going to use a 3-speed fan, and we're going to attach a prop to the motor, and the fan is going to turn the prop, and that will, in turn, generate electricity. You're going to compare two different prop styles, run each of the prop styles on 3 different speeds of the fan, and calculate power in watts. Alright, here's the equipment you're going to need for Lab 16 wind power. You'll need a wind turbine. Alright, you'll need a fan. You'll need a cutout for the props, some scissors, LabQuest, and then an energy sensor and a variable load sensor. And you'll need 2 sets of wires, 2 red wires and 2 black wires to make all your connections. Just a closer look at the connections. Again, your wind turbine will connect red to red on the energy sensor where the source is, and then black to black on the energy sensor where the source is. Okay, and between the variable load sensor and the energy sensor, you're also going to connect red to red and black to black with wires, just like you did for Lab 15 solar power. It takes a little while to cut out the props, so I recommend one person in the group get started on this right away. Let's start with the square pinwheel design first. Alright, so find someone in your group to cut out the props and just cut out along the solid lines. Alright, along each of the props. Just be really careful, like for instance around these parts here, that as you're cutting, I would actually cut a little extra space out around here, because when you punch the hole punch, you don't want to have the hole punch be really super close to the edge or it'll tear. So like along here, I tend to give myself a little more space around here as I'm cutting, and then making sure that the hole punch isn't too close to the edge there. So first, cut out the square prop, cut out the inside pieces. Use a hole punch. Okay, I forgot to mention this before, but you're going to need about a 2.5 or 2-inch piece of straw, and so you go ahead and find a piece of straw up front and just cut it to about that size, about 2 inches. Take a small piece of masking tape and attach it to one of the ends. Cut off any extra. So here you go, you have to attach this prop to that straw. So here's what it looks like so far. Here's a closer look and a side view. Take another piece of masking tape and wrap it around the other end of the straw. Alright, so this is a pretty important step. Make sure that the prop now is snug at both ends on the masking tape on the straw. It's also good to make sure that there's about a 1-inch gap between the front of the prop and the back of the prop, as you can see in the picture. It just works a lot better than if it's smushed together. Attach the prop to the DC motor, which is going to be your wind turbine. Notice in this picture how I'm holding the DC motor. Please don't take the motor out of the turbine. It's because this picture was taken with the old setup. Here's another look at the setup. Alright, so now that you've got everything set up, your wind turbine is spinning on low speed even with the prop, and everything's connected, you can start to take a look at your LabQuest and verify that you're getting some readings. You can go ahead and turn your fan on medium or high speed to really get it moving. And then what you're going to want to do is, just like before with Lab 15 solar power, you're going to want to take a close look at your power output And while looking at the power output, slowly turn the variable load sensor, turning the resistance down and up until you find the point at which your power output is greatest. So again, just kind of turn it slowly to the left, slowly to the right, find where your power is the greatest number, and then when you've got that, then you can record your data for high speed fan on the medium speed and the low speed. Once you've run the experiment for the pinwheel prop, let's go ahead and cut out the other prop. So cut along the solid lines. Go ahead and use a hole punch. Fold along the dotted lines and then unfold them just a little bit. Take 2 small pieces of tape and attach them to the prop. Go ahead and do the same on the other side. Take another small piece of straw and a piece of tape. Wrap the tape on the end of the straw. Go ahead and put the prop on the straw where the tape is. Here's another view of the prop. Remove the pinwheel prop from the wind turbine or the DC motor. Attach the other prop. Here's the setup running again. Make sure to run your fan on low, medium, and then high speed, recording your data every time for the current and potential. And then that's it. Make sure you put everything away, and you've just completed the 16th and final Earth Science lab that I've got for you this trimester.